Okay, so today's study was pretty good. I actually learned a decent amount. Um, I got some decent practice in. What I learned specifically was about kind of shapes and kind of what makes them aesthetic and the kind of shapes that I can think about implementing more into my kind of sci-fi robot design kind of stuff. I was looking at like product design. Sorry, I was looking at some product design and the shapes that they have and they use in a lot of kind of like very aesthetic looking products can be learned, right? Those shapes and what makes those shapes aesthetic can be learned. So I did that. I looked at some product design, did some studying of that, and I noticed that a lot of them had like very subtly tapered like shapes and forms, which was interesting because normally if I think aesthetic shape, I think kind of flowing into a single point or like a very close point, because that in and of itself kind of brings an aspect of flow to the shape, right? But I realised that a more subtle taper and a kind of more blocky shapes can actually be very effective as well, and not being afraid to use those kind of shapes and not having to kind of shape everything down to a point. That's useful. So yeah, I did a lot of practice of those kind of shapes. And yeah, it was all good. And then I also studied some more shapes, but it was based off actual like robot designs. And then I studied a little bit of like how you can use like variations in value and interior value shapes and that kind of thing to kind of leave yourself breadcrumbs or like give yourself indications of what you want to put there in the future, right? Just by using shapes, like you can kind of begin to see what that shape could represent in the latter part of the painting. So a lot of that kind of study included like functionality study, like I'm creating like a robot-esque kind of design, like a kind of sleek robot kind of thing. What could I put in that black shape there to make it look like functional, make it look like it has a purpose within the design? And so learning functionality and all that kind of stuff is very integral to that kind of process. And then once you've learned the functionality, you can kind of learn how to implement little functional elements into your piece, right, into your design. And that's, on top of the shapes that you've already put in there. I also learned about kind of like the actual subtler forms in product design. The kind of the subtle cutaways, the subtle like cut lines. It's all very subtle, but it's also very like sleek and effective. So yeah, I did a lot of practice of that as well. In terms of volume, I didn't do enough volume, but I did feel that I was much more focused on a kind of goal today because I'd looked at the work that I've done previously, I assessed the problem, and that then gives me motivation to try and learn and work around that problem, and learn around that problem and learn through that problem. So yeah, there was a lot more focus today, and there was a decent amount of discipline as well, and resilience definitely as well, 100%. Okay, but to be fair, I didn't have to utilize resilience a massive amount because the learning process was pretty smooth. And to be honest, I think when when you're that focused on something, being resilient is just much easier, which is very nice. What else? Oh yeah, so gym today, new PR on front squat. This front squat thing is amazing. I hit a new 100 kilo PR. I got 100 for 4 on front squat. Last time I tried 100, I did 3, and so getting 4 is pretty big step up. There was slight knee valgus and leaning forward in the last rep, but very slight. The rep was still a relatively good form. What else? So I did that. I did 5 sets overall of front squat. I did back down sets, 8% drop every time, roughly 8%. Both on me man shared a method of adding progressive overload simply, in a non-complex manner. So I've been implementing those principles of back down sets and improving one set of the entire exercise every session. So that's what I've been doing, and I've been hitting PRs pretty consistently, even if it's only for 1 rep, above 1 rep more on a set that week. That's still a PR, right? That's still solid improvement. So yeah, 5 sets of front squats, 1 set of 4 sets of 8, and then hamstring curls. I'm feeling an imbalance in my left and right legs. My right seems more stiff and more weak, so I want to try more unilateral training in order to try and balance that out. I did single leg hamstring curls to try and kickstart that process. Then I did calves is standard, and then yeah, I was done. So good session today. Yeah, what else in terms of art? Not much. I think my shapes really do need a lot of work though still, even though I learned a lot today and I saw hefty improvement. They definitely do need a lot of work. Good shape design needs to come to the front of my mind more clearly when I'm just about to start the painting, you know? I shouldn't have to have been studying shape design for a few hours in order for that to be very clear in my mind, for it to be very clear in my mind. I should be able to just start a new painting and then have a massive bank of effective and interesting and aesthetic shapes that I can draw from. So yeah, that's probably the plan for the next day, is just do a lot of practice of shapes, as well as study of pieces of art that have good shapes within them. But yeah, that's about it for today. Thanks for listening. Have a good day. Bye.